How's it going, everyone? Wayne the Known here, and welcome back to another episode of Geeking Out, where we basically discuss everything nerd and geek related. I'm once again joined by Geeking Out, pretty much returning Geeking Out guest who you've seen multiple times on Geeking Out and on Cosplay Con Talk, Bob Greenwade, also known as One-Eyed Cosplay, right?
Yeah. Hello, nerds. And yeah, I'm having a little more trouble with my eye today, so patch on.
So basically, as you know, Geeking Out, we basically geek out on everything nerd and geek related, which brings us to a new segment called what I've been up to. Basically, I'll be inviting guests on and they will talk about the kind of stuff they are nerding and geeking out on as recent. Kind of got the idea from good buddies at Distance Nerding who do a great segment on when they what they talk about is like when they ask their guests what they've been nerding out on. But in this version, it's gonna be a little different. It's what they've been geeking out on and nerding out on recently from TV shows, from TV shows, books, movies, just everything nerd and geek related that, they've been up to. So Bob, where do you want to start first of what you've been up to lately when it comes to, to movies, TV shows, books,
Yeah, I
etc.?
have so much, such a broad thing. I was, recently diagnosed officially with being on the autism spectrum, but the neuropsychologist also said I have tendencies towards ADHD. So I tend to go be all over the map. And I'm doing a lot with television. I think is a good spot for start in my case. Um, a lot of the shows I watch, a lot of the usual anime shows I watch are like between obtaining the latest English dubs, and I have trouble with just watching it with just subtitles,
Hmm.
especially if I've been watching it dubbed because the voice is different, and my autistic tendencies. It's like even if the voice actor is better, um, it still doesn't sound right. I'd rather listen to Christopher Sabat or Stephanie Shea or whoever's voicing
That's
the
that's
characters.
fair.
So while I'm waiting for My Hero Academia and Naruto Shippuden and other shows to catch up, and waiting for to re up my Netflix account. I've been watching a lot of older shows that only lasted like one season, and they were only designed to last one season. A couple of them include. I'm looking at them. I'm looking over my laptop at my TV right now, and I'm seeing The Rising of the Shield Hero,
Ooh.
Busorenkin, Dark Gathering. Let's see what else I have over here. Um, no, one more day. Oh, that's the wrong one. Chivalry of a Failed Knight was a good one. Um, and Infinite Dendrogram was okay. That one didn't really excite me a lot, but it was interesting. And I've rewatched a few of my older favorites, like Gun Gale Online.
Ooh. From the
Uh,
creators of Sword Art Online, if I'm not mistaken.
it is, yes. In fact, um, this one inspired me to do my second planned Rule 63 cosplay. For those who don't know, Rule 63 is that for every male character in fiction, somewhere there's a female equivalent, and vice versa.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, and Marvel and DC have famously really leaned into that. DC's more than once had worlds where the entire um, uh, the, the entire roster is gender swapped. Um, and it's one place where we get their versions of Wonder Man. But
Hmm.
I thought the Rule 63 version of Len from Gun Gale Online would be a lot of fun to do. I just love that the pink camo outfit.
The name of the character is
Len,
Lynn.
two L's and two N's.
All right.
Yeah, manifests in the game as this super petite, almost little girl kind of figure, which is what
Oh,
I was looking for because she's like 6 feet tall in real life, in her real life.
oh yeah. Okay, I've seen. I don't think I'm sure if I've seen anyone cosplayer. I'll show a bigger picture, of course, but if this is a character
Yeah.
you're talking. Okay,
Yes.
honestly, I can really see that.
See, with the and this of course darkened,
Oh yeah, I mean, I like how like their belt looks like a skirt almost.
and except that it's all completely clips for her weapon there.
That is honestly, I gonna have to watch this anime now. Um, now I have a suggestion anime. It was on Netflix years ago. Um, gotta see where you can watch it. Give me a minute. Oh, it's based off the video game series Devil Kings. It was by Capcom. It's called Sengoku Basara, also known as Samurai Kings, based off the video game series Devil Kings.
I've heard of that, and it intrigued me a little bit while I still had Netflix, and when after I re up and catch up with things like Umbrella Academy and
Ooh.
One Piece and whatever. I'm figuring to go start taking a look at stuff like that.
Yeah, it's no longer on, sadly, it's no longer on
Oh,
Netflix. This was years
years and years
ago.
ago.
It
I'll
was
go
like
take a look around for it. Maybe it's somewhere on Hulu.
probably, I mean, Hulu has a wide list of anime as well.
Oh yeah, that's kind of become my Hulu's become my anime clearinghouse. Um, I if I feel like watching an anime, that's kind of my first turn to, and it still was even when I still had Netflix. Netflix was just my second place. Um, let's see, keeping up on, of course, on Transformers Earth Spark. Watching The Ark season 2 on Sci-Fi.
Nice.
Um, just and if we had done this yesterday instead of tonight, I would have been missing. Had to wait to watch the two episode premiere of Agatha All Along.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing people talk about that as of today. I've yet to I'm bad when it comes to watching like when it comes to watching Disney original stuff, especially like the Marvel stuff because I'm way behind on like Hawkeye, um WandaVision, Falcon the Winter Soldier. I'm not like harping on them, they look good. It's just I have an attention span to where like if it's a slow start, I just like I just can't.
Yes, um, Secret Invasion is one of those slow starters, but uh, um, once it gets, I think about episode 3 is when it really picks up and becomes really strong. There's a death at the end of episode 1 that is kind of covered up at the covered and addressed at the beginning of episode 2, but then it's never nothing's ever done with it, and it becomes kind of useless.
Naturally.
But
Um, oh, careful.
there's also stuff in there that kind of brings into question some of the events from Black Panther 2.
Ooh. So oh, excuse me. So movies. Have you watched any interesting movies of recently, whether, it's a movie that recently came out or just, something for the nostalgia?
Um, Mainly, well, on over on Disney Plus, I've been watching what I consider to be the two most unfairly maligned movies of the Marvel library, which are Eternals and The Marvels.
I've
So
never I've never watched either. I've seen trailers for them. I've seen clips of them. And I originally thought the Marvels, from what it looked like when I saw the trailer, and I'm sure you can agree or someone in the comics could agree, I thought it was a TV series.
Um,
It looked like it was gonna be a TV series just with how the trailer looked for it.
yeah, it could have been. It would have been. Might have been okay as a TV series, but is just. I don't think the plot would really work well with the TV series. It's the shortest movie that Marvel's done in a while. I think it's only like a tad over an hour and a half.
And it just really didn't seem like a whole lot of marketing for it because I found out about it through TikTok is how I found it because I tried to look on like you like
Mhm.
watch YouTube and everything and I
The
did not really
marketing
see.
the marketing was weak, and there's also a lot of resistance from I think the anti woke crowd, since
Mm,
it's like an all female major cast, um, female director. 75% of the crew was female. Plus out of the three majors, you had one of them was black and another was
mm.
Pakistani, and so that also I think has a lot to do with what hurt Eternals, because they went from this in the comics this all white family to this ethnic mix.
I mean, and it's also I hate to say it, Disney has a history of not really marketing their movies well. Treasure Planet and Atlantis are and Dinosaurs. It's a good example of a good concept, just little to no marketing. When you know those movies are great to this day.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those Treasure Planet is. I've only seen two whimsical takes on Treasure Island.
Hmm.
The other one, of course, being Muppet Treasure Island,
Yes, yes, yes.
and
Such a good movie.
and that and both of those two versions of it are just brilliant.
Ironically, Muppet Treasure Island was made by Disney in the 90s.
Yeah, well, it was my wife's number one favorite movie.
Nice.
He and I had the same number two, of course, The Princess Bride.
I mean, as you
But
wish.
as far as in the theater, though, I it took me a few weeks, but I did go see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, how did you like that movie?
Well, I'll put it this way: I saw the first movie and I thought it was really good,
Hmm.
despite all the f bombs in there. You know,
I
none of
mean,
them, none of them were out of place. In Deadpool 2, most of the f bombs were out of place. It
mhm.
just a lot of it felt like it was just an excuse to drop a lot of those.
Oh yeah.
And for this one, it went back. They everything just felt like it was naturally flowing and in character. They didn't overdo the multiverse.
Mhm.
Um, they subverted a lot of the assumptions that were made about this movie. Um, there were awesome, some really excellent cameos and backup.
I mean,
Um,
we finally got to see Paul Rudd age.
see what?
We finally got to see Paul Rudd age.
Oh yeah, so you've seen it.
Uh,
I think they missed a really brilliant joke there, because apologies for spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. It's been out for a while, but
mhm,
there was the bit where Deadpool managed to overcome Juggernaut by chopping him off at the ankles.
mhm.
And in a Deadpool movie, how did it have that happen and nobody says that Juggernaut was defeated?
Oh yeah, I know what scene you're talking about. I feel like it would have been too easy as a joke.
Yeah, but since when has that stopped them?
Uh,
But
Fair point.
the team that that they gathered together in the void is I'm just going to say dead on, just perfect.
Oh
I
yeah,
the only way
no.
the only thing I think would have been better, there was the Wolverine versus Hulk
Hmm.
nod that they did, and I
Yeah,
would have
yeah.
wanted Lou Ferrigno in for that, and he would have done it too.
Oh,
I know.
I'm sure he would
Oh, he
have.
would have. Somebody asked him if he was asked to come back to do the Hulk in one of these multiverse movies, and he said, "Yeah, sure." at a convention I was at a couple of years ago.
Oh, nice.
And let's see, would have been kind of nice to see Nicholas Hammond at least in a cameo. He is still around.
Oh, is he the one who played as Bruce Banner in the Hulk
No, he's
series?
the one. No, that was Bill Bixby.
Oh,
Nicholas
okay.
Hammond played the TV Spider-Man in the 70s.
Oh, that one. Okay, I know. Yeah, the
Yeah,
like the
yeah. I
second,
would have
like
really liked to have seen him in No Way
the
Home.
the second live, yeah, the second live action Spider-Man, because the first one was the one that took place in Japan, Su Spider-Man.
Yeah, I understand there's going to be a nod to that one somewhere in the Spider-Verse movies.
Oh yeah, well, whenever that one comes out, if it comes
Yeah,
out at this point.
and then David Hasselhoff
Oh yeah,
would have
because
been.
his the first live action Nick Fury,
Yes, which he did
and
very well, I want to say. I really enjoyed that one, but just get like at least a cameo from Hasselhoff as Nick Fury would have been great.
yes, and some people who may not realize, um, Nick Fury was the first live action. No, not Nick Fury. David Hasselhoff was the first live action Fury. I think the movie was called Fury, I think, or Shield.
I would have to look it up, and since I'm on my laptop right now, it's a little more difficult than when
Oh
I'm.
no, I'll put a little edit word thing to say what he was in. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
because originally, you know, his was more based off the comic book looks minus the white and blue jumpsuit.
yeah, it pretty much was that. I mean, this was like just a couple of years before the Ultimate Universe and the black version of Nick Fury were introduced.
Mm, yeah, makes sense.
And
Oh,
of
there's
course,
still kills it.
I told the story about that, how they did one issue with him, and they said, "No, wait a minute, we should make him look like whoever's the coolest guy on the planet right now," and that was Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh man,
They
and
said,
also
and they contacted Jackson, and they said, "Was it okay if we use your likeness?" And he said, as long as I get to play him in the movie,"
I mean, I
and they
mean,
did. And 7 years later, he did.
I mean, it worked with him in Star Wars. He asked Lucas for a purple lightsaber, and he got a purple lightsaber. So I mean, if Samuel
Yeah,
Jackson wants it, he'll get it no matter what.
somehow or other, yeah. So Um, but that's been my only visit to the cinema lately. I'm still thinking as my next payday comes up, see if Inside Out 2 is still in the theaters.
That'd be a good one. So with that being, your movie, TV, anime, stuff you've been up to with that. We briefly talked about, have you been up to any like theater stuff? Because I know you also do theater and stage performances as well. Have you been into any up to stuff with that?
I have actually I've auditioned for a few things over the past year, um, including, let's see, there was a readers theater thing that I don't remember the title on that. Um, right now, I think the Majestic Theater is doing a play called Mr. Burns, which is about a post-apocalyptic society based on The Simpsons.
I was gonna say, is it based off the old curmudgeon from The Simpsons, Montgomery
Yeah,
Burns, who to this day we don't know his actual age?
and then but I did try out for Monty Python's Spamalot.
Ooh.
But it didn't work out so well. I didn't get to go in. It is difficult where I'm at because um, I've moved. I was living like 7 blocks from the theater and could walk it pretty easily, but now I've moved to a whole different part of town, which makes it about, I think, 3.5 miles.
Ooh.
And our buses don't run in the evenings, so I don't
Gotta
really
love
have
that.
transportation home. So I'm going carefully on um, what ones I get involved, what ones I audition for. Make sure it's something I really, really want to do.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it catches your eye, go for it, I
Yeah.
mean,
At the same time, I was um, talking a while ago with one of the people who regularly direct, and he's directed, I think, at least 3 plays based on the works of Terry Pratchett, for example,
Ooh.
and several other things around here. And I mentioned one of my plays to him, called that one that I wrote, called Legends of the Zodiac for People Who Don't Care.
Ooh.
And
That.
after I was during the pandemic, I was in an online production of the what is it, the Grimm Brothers Spectacular Thon. And this is one of those things that just takes this kind of really farcical take on several Brothers Grimm stories and kind of mashes them all one by one. And two eccentric narrators, and um, I don't remember. I don't think it's. I did this through Umpqua Community College.
Oh, and Uncut
Um,
Organ?
yeah, down in Roseburg.
Oh, nice.
I did that one, and I had earlier done Uncle Billy in um, It's a Wonderful Life.
Ooh. That's a
Um,
that's a pretty good the It's a Wonderful Life, that the one based off the Christmas movie
on
from
the movie, yeah.
from what is it, the 50s or 60s
Uh,
or 40s?
50s, I think. I think it may have been back to the 40s. Um, it wasn't far. It was someplace like in the post-war era, because I remember um, George's brother had fought in World War II.
Okay, so probably
Like,
post World War II, and it makes sense
yeah,
because there was a lot of Christmas movies in like mid to late 40s that were just like coming out every year almost.
yeah, this was like late 40s and mid 50s or so, and we were like gathering it together on Zoom and broadcasting it out over YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, nice. That's
And there
pretty
was
cool.
this one actually had admissions when they did that. So you had to pay to view it. So I don't think those are available. A lot of the stuff that I did through the Majestic was just put out for free, and you can still find it at the Majestic website, um, including a more serious piece that I wrote in their new play showcase. If you look under the Majestic Theater and search for Sounds of Murder, I think is how it
With
was
the
worded.
I'll put that then link below for that so
Yeah,
people can check it out.
I'll find a link and send it to you. I'll
Oh
find a
yeah, no.
link or the actual name and put it for you. But my let's see, a friend of mine had always wanted to do Sorry Wrong Number, the old radio, a classic radio thriller. And then I also had my own audio play called Time to Kill. And since these were both based around murder, I suggested that we call the combination of the two Sounds of Murder,
Ooh.
and we put it and we put it up there. And I just really have to give. I still am really impressed with all of the performers in that one. Um, it, who just they kind of went. We had like one rehearsal ahead of time, and these guys were all just like bending over backwards to make it look like it had been well rehearsed, and they succeeded.
Nice.
It was very nice. But I was also in several productions, including let's see, um, Merry Wives of Windsor. Um, oh, I don't remember all of them. Most of the ones that I was in were Shakespeare or some kind of strange adaptations of one thing or another. And I could almost make a list of them. But
Mhm.
these were like full productions of regular plays that were being adapted for online theater.
Ooh,
So
nice.
I had a lot of those like during the pandemic, and they've kind of stopped doing those. But I think the one thing that really exemplifies my more serious writing skills that's on is Time to Kill. I'm trying to get another production of it together, um, to have up on its own. but it doesn't really show off my comedy, which is what Legends of the Zodiac, for people who don't care, is. It's just one farcical take after another on the 12 signs of the Greek zodiac, as
Ooh.
presented by the by two of the muses, the muse of history, whose name I forget for some reason right now. I think it's Medea, and then Talia, the muse of comedy.
Ooh.
Um, and so we get history and comedy, which is kind of the Greek fictional history, and it kind of almost Zucker Brothers level of comedy.
Nice. Have you been auditioning for anything else as of recent or plan to audition for the remainder of the year?
I I haven't. I'm sure there is something. I would have to go look at the Majestic Theater website. That's the only one that I can get to where I'm at, to see. I think there's something coming up that I was interested in, but kind of keeping my focus on writing. I turned back to one musical that I've written, because I've gone through a couple of iterations and it's just too long, so I'm having to shorten it out, cut out a couple of songs. It's called Max Marvel, the second weirdest man in show business,
I love the name already.
and it's about this blue-eyed soul singer, white guy from Akron, Ohio, who was a hit from 1967 to 1976. And it goes through all of the songs, all but one of which just sound like a regular hit song. And there was one that he wrote specifically to be a novelty song. This bit of silliness, but then in between it, we have basically a typical, what I call kitchen sink comedy, where I take everything that I can think of and just throw it at this particular theme. And so it kind of has his obsession with can openers, electric can openers, and the how his life is riddled with unlikely accidents that would make Rube Goldberg jealous. And some of the, and we talked to a music historian who is from Britain, but her speech is littered with soul slang, and a lot of the eccentricities that members of his band had, and so forth. Um, and it also deals with a lot of more serious issues too, like autism awareness and racial equality, because his band was like um, multiple races and women and men together, and everything else, and the various challenges. And of course, there's lots of name dropping too of just about everybody. A lot of people who were active during that time: Dick Clark, Mike Douglas, Merv Griffin, Elvis, um, and it's all written in as though it was a documentary film.
Ooh,
So we're seeing Max himself sing his songs, but in between, everybody else is talking about and reminiscing about their time with him.
nice.
So that is the basics of Max Marvel, the second weirdest man in show business. And I do have about a page and a half of time where they talk about, how he got that nickname, and who the first one is. Neither of those questions are ever answered, but they talk about it and they just kind of suddenly move on to something else.
Nice. So next thing here, because I got two more things to ask you about. Have you read like any good books or comics or manga you've read recently that you're like, or you're in the
Um,
midst of reading?
I haven't done a lot of picking up printed works, a lot recently. I have a couple of books that I've had sitting around that I've been waiting to get to, nonfiction, basically, really. Um, one about Thomas Jefferson, and another one, the last book written by the late Richard Twiss, taking the gospel back from the Cowboys. So, but I've only like just started a few paragraphs of each one of those and haven't haven't really gotten into them. I expect them to be pretty good though.
They sound good.
Yeah. Um, the only other really real thing I mentioned, well, I want to touch on like two cosplays that I've been
Oh
working
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. You were wanted to talk about um
The
yeah.
constable from Only Murders in the Building. This is the part played by Charles Hayden Savage in the musical Death Rattle Dazzle, but as portrayed by Steve Martin on Only Murders in the Building.
Oh yeah, I recently I keep on seeing that on I think mentioned about you can how you can watch it on Hulu, I think.
Yes, it's on Hulu primarily. I think you can also pick it up on Disney Plus, but on Hulu. And he wears the outfit in the second season finale, or third season finale rather, when they're on Broadway. And of course, a couple of episodes before that, he did the fantastic song "Which of the Pickwick Triplets Did It."
Could Paco's passion prove apocalyptic? With his passy and his rattle, did this Pisher go to battle, proving he's the Peppermints Pickwick Triptych in this picaresque puzzle of the Pickwick pack.
So the play was first and then the TV show was second?
No, the TV show, the play, such as it is, the
Uh-huh.
fragments of the play were written for the show because they were kind of
Okay.
parodying Broadway. And so they managed to bring in Glenn Close to play this shy woman who was started out as the understudy for the female lead, and then the main female lead left, and she picked it up and then they turned it into a musical, and and came up with all these songs. And um, Charles was stressing over this song that he had because it's a patter song, and it was like the guys who actually wrote the songs for the show, for the show, the songs were the only part that was actually completed. They were just like little bits and pieces of the text script, but all the songs were actually written, and you got full versions of the songs. And this includes this one, and they were trying to decide how far should we go in making this tongue twistery. And they were discussing it between themselves, and then they finally decided this is Steve Martin who's going to be doing it. He's a constable profession. He's a consummate professional. He can handle whatever we throw at him. And so they went all the way, and of course, Steve nailed it.
I mean, the
I don't
guy
know how many
can
takes it took him to do it, but he nailed it.
I mean, the guy can juggle, the guy can play guitar, the guy can sing, the guy can dance,
And
the guy
banjo,
can oh, it was a yeah, it was a banjo, and then he did the
yes,
juggling thing. Like the guy can do almost anything. And originally, he was fun fact here. He was sought to be the original voice of Goofy in the 1995 film A Goofy Movie before they switched to Bill Farmer.
yes, and he got um, I've been practicing the song too, and I still get still stumble over did this with his passy and his rattle, did this Pisher go to battle, proving he's the perp amongst this Pickwick triptych.
Oh man, I can't even say that without just like feel like I'm just gonna like pass out if I try to say that as fast as he can.
And I did it a little bit faster just now than was in the recording of the song. You can call it up on Amazon Music. I know.
Yes! Yes, how you do it? Yes!
No, but I am just about done. Well, I should say I'm most of the way done with that. I still have to put the buttons and belt loops on the coat and sew the panels together for the trousers. But I have everything else. Um,
Yeah.
and then the other cosplay I'm working on is Pancho Panicotta from How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna pull a picture of him right now too, so people. I like how his outfit looks very simple almost.
it kind of is, but parts of it are rather more difficult to get, like the shirt.
I would say the puff shirt, the shirt he's
It's
not
not a
wearing.
puff shirt. It just has laces on the front.
Oh yeah, that I mean I've seen shirts like that on Amazon.
Yeah, well, I got mine, I think, from Shine.
Oh, Shines are pretty good, and the shoes
Or maybe,
the pants look like harem pants almost. They
well,
got the wrap,
the pants I can just wear regular gray
mm.
slacks, and then put the wraps around the bottom part.
And then they got regular like, dress shoes by the looks of it. But I feel like the jacket and the vest, oh, the vest he wears would probably be a little bit harder because it's got that little triangle cut at the bottom.
The sweater vest, well, the sweater vest, I'm decided to not go full detail on, so I just got a regular old beige sweater vest, and I might upgrade it at some later time. And the same thing with similar thing with the coat. I have a plain green blazer that I got for another cosplay, um, and I might get something else that has that black trim on it. But I'm just going to go with plain old green for
And
now since I already had that.
nice. I'm looking up, I typed in Pancho Panicotta cosplay, and there is no cosplay of him
I
whatsoever.
I will be the first, and I think I may end up being the first How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom cosplayer, with the possible exception. I think I may have seen one or two Aishas out there, but that is about it. There are very few cosplayers from that show, and I would love to get like a group together at Komori-Con some year, where we are all five of the great talents that show
I'm
up.
I'm looking it up. Um, I'm looking like I typed in the cosplays and I see like outfit. I don't know like this one.
That looks like it could be Aisha. Looks like it's more like I think her name's Luna, the singer.
Yeah, I'm looking it up, and I can't. I'm serious. I'm looking up. I all I see are figures. Um, I I don't. I'm looking and I can't find anyone cosplaying from this.
Yeah,
This must be one of those like hidden gem animes. Like you really have to like look into it.
it is a hidden gem. I was talking about it at the when we were talking about underrated animated shows.
Oh yeah, when we did the underrated and
Yeah,
forgotten. I'm
this is one.
looking. I can't find a freaking thing on this for
This
cosplay
is recent.
wise.
It's a fairly recent show. It's had one season so far. It might get us. I think it has a second one that it will be coming sooner or later. Um, it seems to be a bigger hit in Japan than over here, but it's one of
Uh,
these shows that is like not real heavy on action. It's more on political intrigue and
is it
behind the
on
scenes and
is it on
interpersonal
who
relationships.
is it on Hulu?
Yes.
I will I will have to watch that then. And I mean I don't I mean I can say we can recommend it to people, but that's up on them. Like I'm look literally if anyone looks at how realists build a kingdom, I highly recommend searching cosplays. You cannot find a single of anyone cosplaying because I mean again it's one of those you have to like literally search for it or have someone like you say hey there's this anime I've been watching you should check it out and blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah.
I'm going to try and drop the title "How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom." Throw up this plate one more time.
I'll even put like the picture of the cover of the anime on this like watch this anime
Yeah,
anime here.
because I'll push it whenever I can because it is a good anime. If you don't require like somebody going to battle every episode, um, this is an interesting program.
I will have to check it out for sure.
It's good
I
for us who are intellectually high too, because he takes a realism philosophy and a cues from Machiavelli's The Prince
ooh.
to really turn this failing kingdom around.
I think
And
oh
this
I'll
is
have to
and this is like all in this fantasy realm where magic works, and
I was gonna
he
say
starts
fantasy.
yeah, and he starts they're able to use this magic crystals to um, address the entire kingdom, all across the kingdom. And then one of the people who comes to join his cause says, you know, you could use this to like sell time to merchants so that they can hawk their wares to the people. And he's thinking, she just came up with TV commercials and she was born here.
God. Okay, now I seriously gotta watch this on Hulu. That sounds awesome. And I'm trying to get back. So I'm slowly, diving my feet back into anime because TikTok is just showing me, oh, there's this anime you may have never heard of. This anime. There's just like, hold, slow down. Like I get it, I get TikTok loves. I get these people on TikTok love to show clips of these animes. Like I'm still like, this is why I've kind of like started just watching one season or two season animes because like I'm caught up on the original Dragon Ball Z. I'm caught up on Dragon Ball. But then you got Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super. Now you got this new one coming out called Dragon Ball Daima, where all the main characters get turned back into kids, and you got Stephanie Aldoni, the original voice of Kid Goku, coming back to voice this version of Kid Goku. And it's like anyway, um or is there any stuff that you plan on nerding or geeking out on in the future? Like stuff that like
Um,
caught your eye but you haven't really got into it yet.
well, there's a few other cosplays that I'm wanting to look at doing. I have like the materials, but haven't really started on Hondo Onaka
Ooh,
from
he's gonna
Star
be
Wars.
he's gonna be a fun one. I actually saw someone on TikTok dressed as Hondo Naka meeting Jim Cummings.
Yeah, I did that dressed as Darkwing Duck, and he said my voice as Darkwing Duck was pretty good too. Um,
Nice.
but, and of course, coincidentally, we are recording this on International Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Yes, as much as I want to talk like a pirate, I guess I kinda am your stereotypical pirate in a sense. Yarg.
But they go,
Anyway.
but I have my own pirate, and it is very profitable too.
Oh, it definitely is.
They asked him at Washington State Summer Con, the usual thing, what's your favorite line of your character? And his was, I think, the most popular Hondo Onaka line. Ah, these stories I could tell. So many
Yeah.
of them true.
We still need a live action Hondo Ohnaka. Come on, Disney, you're sleeping on some really good Star Wars characters that have only been shown in animated stuff. I would still like to see a live action of Saw's Adventures. I'm just saying. We've seen what they look like in video games. We've seen like what they look like animated and the CG animation, but like a live action Night Sister, not counting what we saw in Ahsoka or Mandalorian, but like Asajj Ventress. We see what they look like. A live action Asajj Ventress can be done if you find the right actor for it.
I actually, when I was at SummerCon 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago? It was 4 years ago. Well, when I saw Jim previously at SummerCon, I asked him if he'd make that crossover into live action as Hondo, and he said without hesitation.
I mean, if you find the act, you mean that's what they did with Cad Bane, the live action. They had one actor play him, and
Oh yeah,
they had his original voice, and just like
they
with
got Troy Burton up there, and they had Katie Sackhoff. By the way, I looked this up. This was a discussion at SummerCon 4 years ago. They said that she was the first Star Wars person to go from animation into live action, and she doubted it. And they looked it up, and they said, "Yeah, she is definitely." And I looked it up, and I told her at um, Fan Expo Portland last year that she was the first person to do that anywhere in anything.
oh
Katie
yeah, no,
Sackhoff was the first person to first voice a character, then play that same character in live action, ever.
which but the one thing that confuses me is her age, because this takes place many years, yet she still looks the same age as her character was. So unless she has like some age ability like Wolverine, You know,
We don't know what native Mandalorians age like. We also don't know what Toguta's age like. So
Fair enough. I mean, explains the same race as Yoda. Like we don't know how old. Yeah, say Grogu's 50, but in reality, he's like a toddler still.
yeah, and when Yoda died, he was somewhere in
900.
the 900.
Yeah, and when 900 when 900 when 900 year old
900
years
years
old
old,
you
you
reach.
were doing.
Ooh,
Yeah.
look as good, you will not. Um, I think
But let's
that's.
see. Looking up in the future, I wanting to continue with Agatha all along,
Oh yeah.
and anything Marvel that comes out. Um,
Oh,
and
there's that new Spider-Man that Spider-Man comic book animated series coming out soon.
yeah, it's Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which is supposed to be kind of like, but not quite the same as Tom Holland's Spider-Man. They're making some changes on his background, so it's not the same as the MCU Spidey.
No, it's completely different, and I'm not even. I don't even want to talk the Spider Universe, the Sony Spider Marvel versus. Yeah, there's an.
It's yeah, it's better than I think. I think it's a lot. I think it's somewhat better than a lot of people are saying, but um, so far I would not give any Marvel related movie um, of the past 20 years failing grade other than the rebooted Fantastic Four.
Mm.
Which
I am holding.
oh and oh and the second Ghost Rider movie.
Um, I mean, I'm kind of seeing how Pedro Pascal and all them do for this well, technically third reboot if you count the not seen 94 live action Fantastic Four film.
Which people have I've heard from people who have actually seen it and said it's not
Hmm.
that bad.
No, well, yeah, you can get like a choppy version of it, like on DVD or VHS.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
but
it's just like the unreleased '90s Justice League film, never shown, but it looks pretty darn good.
except for the costumes.
Well, yeah, it's part of his
As we
time.
discussed, yeah, we discussed that I think already with the characters as they cycled through the years.
Oh yeah,
How they,
it was like yeah, it was like what Marvel. It was like I think it was like Marvel versus DC comic something. It was like comic book characters over the years or something. I can't remember. I have to
the comic book
look.
characters over the years, the different live action adaptations,
Oh
and
yeah, live action versus comic books. That's what it was.
yeah. So we looked at, and I initially looked at the Tick, and then I went over to look at the Flash, and like the first one was really horrible, and then John Wesley Ships was better but not quite there, and Grant Gustin was pretty much dead on what we wanted, and then it went
And
over
then
to Ezra
Ezra
Miller, who
Miller,
went
which just
back full circle.
why would you have a CGI scene of Flash putting a baby in a microwave? I seen that clip. It looks horrible. You put all that money to have crappy CGI, and you do a tax write-off for the backdrop. I'm not. No, 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 no. We don't need to get into that right now. We are actually.
Yeah, we're going
It's
into things I'm geeking out and planning on doing. I see. I have. Um, I see the costumes that I have on waiting. One of my mentions was Hondo Onaka. Another one is a Rule 63 Perry Brown from Doctor Who.
ooh.
I took a look at her the costume that Nicola Bryant wore in the segment "The Mysterious Planet," um, which is the first, I think, 4 episodes from the Trial of a Time Lord when he was with Colin Baker.
Oh yeah, played by Nicole by Perp
Perry Brown. Her full name Perpigillion Brown.
met the Fifth Doctor. It's just not,
No,
it's almost as tongue twisty as when Four met Romana and how she said her full name.
Ramona Larunder, yes.
Oh yeah, this is are you talking about the pink outfit she wears?
No, I'm talking about the yellow one.
Oh, where it looks like she's wearing a blazer.
Yes. I just think I pulled away from. Okay, show it again. Did you pull it up?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I can. No, Google. I don't want to. I don't want to go to the website where you can find the.
Yeah, that's the one. She has said that that is the favorite outfit that she wore on the show, and I concur. And all I have left on that one to finish that one is just to make the blazer.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. So we gotta get this wrapped up here. Um, as we always know what we do at the end of these, and of course, yeah. So Bob, where can people find you on social media if they want to stay up to date with your theater stuff, your cosplay stuff, or just all around comedic timing?
Most of my stuff most of my links you can find at my link tree, One-Eyed Cosplay, and that can send you to my two Instagram accounts, one my own and one for my cosplay. Sends you to the platform formerly known as Twitter. Sends you to my Pinterest, to my Spoonflower shop, to my books at Lulu, to various other places. All sorts
Nice.
of links and stuff that I have, including a couple of gift wish lists in case anybody's inclined, which is highly unlikely, but they're there anyway.
Ooh. I think that should do it again, Bob. Thank you for coming on to talk about what you've been up to in the nerd and geek world. And yeah, I think that should do it. And of course, now it's time for the costume dance song, which is by our very own Bob Greenwade. When I do this quick little outro, as always, I'm Wayne the Unknown. Until next time, thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for watching.